Today on The Grid, our topic is how will AI change the world of photography? But we're kicking things off with a few holiday gift ideas. Our guest today is Yodum Gill. He's an expert in AI from Imogen. And, of course, my co-host is kicking it with Charlie Chan. He sails around in a catamaran. It's the real rocket man, Erik Kuna. All right, we're giving away a copy of my brand new book today. So new, we just saw a copy of it 5 minutes ago. And, of course, we've got some other cool giveaways. And it all starts in just 21.3 seconds. Let's go!
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. Scott Kelby here with the real rocket man, Mr. Erik Kuna.
Well, hey, Scott. It's good to be back.
Hi, Erik.
Yeah.
Good to have you back since you won't be here next week.
Yeah, I won't be here next week.
God, the king of gallivantation is what he is.
I am going to be gallivantation
His
in the
business
cold.
card says off gallivanting. That's exactly what his title is. Professional gallivanter. Anyway, we're glad to have you guys here. Because Erik is not here next week, and next week is our holiday gift guide show, he's got a few gift ideas for you today since he won't be here next week. So we'll get to those in just a second. All right, I got a new book. It's so new, we just saw it like right before we went on the air.
Literally.
It is
like
a completely new, from the ground up version of one of my best-selling books ever. It's called Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It. And many of you are familiar with this book. But here's the interesting thing about it. I don't know where to look. Am I looking over there? There we go. All right. The interesting thing about it is when I did the first book, it was using all studio lights. This book is using flash. So I did all of it. And so here's how it works. You see how it says light it, shoot it, retouch it? So it starts off by showing you all the lighting, right? And we have a shot straight overhead, from the front, from the left, from the side, from the back. We have all sides. We go through every piece of gear that's used, every power setting, how high each light is. We measured everything, the distance from the light to the subject, from the light to the ground, and all this stuff. So you can exactly reproduce it. So we have the lighting, then we have the shooting, all the camera settings, everything, and then all the retouching. So it goes straight out of the camera all the way to the final image that you would show. Now let me show you kind of what it looks like.
No, I love these pages, right? Where they're actually got like the overhead shot to show perspective on like where it's shot, but then you can see what equipment it is.
Yep, exactly what equipment.
To like the exact lengths and sizes to make those images.
Yep, you see all the measurements and everything.
Like, I love that. You know, all the settings that you're going to need, all that stuff to make that image. And then all the posts on it, like how to actually retouch that image. You know, so you go the whole step by step all the way through everything you do
all the way to
the image.
And can we show the picture? Go back one. Well, let's go to the very first of that chapter.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the chapter, I show you the shots from the shoot and then which one we're going to work on. There we go.
Jason.
So each one, and look, that's Jason. That's our director of the Grid.
There it is. Right
I had him stand in as a lighting stunt. Like, hey, just sit there for a second. I just need to get the lighting set up. And he gets there, and I took my test shot. I'm like, Jason, you got to be the model for this. It looks great.
It was awesome.
He's just a very photogenic person. So there was all these shots, but there was one in particular. So in each one of them, I think it's 12 chapters or 14 chapters. How many chapters is it? It's a bunch. It's 15 chapters, so it's 15 lighting setups, 15 things, everything from headshots to fashion and all. Anyway, so we got our first copy today, but I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we're giving away a copy of the Kindle version of this. So it's available right now in Kindle. The bad news is, for all kinds of horrible reasons, we had to have it printed in South Korea, which is much better than having it printed in North Korea. So anyway, we had to have it printed in Korea. So they have this is just, hey, this is one of the proofs, right? Here's off the press, and they FedExed it. The rest has to come from a very, very large boat, very, very slowly from Korea across the ocean to California, then it has to go to the publisher, then it has to go to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and bookstores around the world. We're looking at February for the print version. I know. Don't get me started. But you can go get the Kindle version right now. Yeah, they're saying February 21st. We're hoping it'll be earlier than that. But anyway, it is the #1 new release in digital photography. And so you can go get a Kindle version of it right now, or you can wait and get the, yeah, there you go. So anyway, it is a bargain of the Kindle version. Look, the Kindle version is only $20. That's cheap. $19.99. That's dirt cheap. It's dirt.
It's a steal.
Dirt cheap. Anyway, it makes a great holiday gift. But if the whole thing's done, not with studio lights, the whole entire thing's done with flash. Want to hear something interesting about the book?
Yeah.
Did you know I used like 6 different flashes? Like I used like all different ones. I used a Pro Photo. I used a Yongnuo. I used a Canon. I used a Westcott. I used a different flash in almost every one. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't matter what flash. It's all a bright flash.
Bright flash of light. That's what it is.
A bright flash of light. They all make up light bright. But I wanted to really
the only
drive
thing we will say
home.
is as you pay a little bit more, you get a little bit more durability.
Yeah, you get more durability and you might get more features and things like that.
Different softbox configurations, all that good stuff.
But for $60, you can do anything in here. And it's mostly 1 or 2 lights. There's a couple of times where it's mostly 1 light. There's sometimes it's 2. Sometimes it's 3. One time it was 5, but mostly it is 1 light. And then, anyway, but we're excited to be able to give one of those away today. So we're doing that. What else we got? A couple other things. So Mr. Kuna and I are working on a workshop for next year. We haven't announced it yet.
We're working on different options because we've come up with some options, hit some brick walls.
Yeah, we were going to go to Cuba. We were going to go to Cuba in February, but it's getting so complicated that we're not. Especially
the power problems.
Yeah, there's power problems and all kinds of other issues that are
we just don't like.
That we don't want to have to be worried about stuff like that. So we have a new location. We're just figuring out the logistics. I've also got 2 workshops coming up overseas with Mimo Madani. I'll be announcing those shortly. If you want to be among the first people to know about these workshops, go to scottkelbyworkshops.com and get on my mailing list, because people that have been to one of my workshops, they get first notice. And then people on this there it is, people on the mailing list, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's a place to sign up. Just scroll down, go. If you get to the bottom, then you will see a little mailing list. Get on the mailing list. There it is, right there. So then you are the next people to know. So you'll know before we announce it.
And that's a good thing to do, because a lot of times when you announce these things, they're already sold out by the time
some of them will sell out.
Announce it through those mailing lists.
By the time we get to the mailing list, that's it. So anyway, I'll be announcing the cities, and we got some great cities. All 3 of the workshops will be fantastic next year. And so we're very excited about it, but we have to work out some logistics because there's always that stuff. But hopefully in the next week. So that's coming up. Another thing is I am speaking in next year at a Masters of Landscape and Nature workshop with Bill Fortney and Jack Graham and a whole cast of, and one of my favorite landscape photographers ever, Joe McNally. Joe's there. If you put someone in a landscape, right, then
that is Joe McNally.
And then you light them. But you know what? Joe could talk about milk. He could talk about anything, and you're like, there it is, the Masters of Nature and Landscape Photography.
I don't think there's anything that Joe could not shoot.
Oh, yeah, Joe went and shot the Olympics. Like, nobody says, hey, do you think of Joe McNally as a sports photographer? But did you see the shots that he came back with? They were phenomenal.
And sometimes that's the deal. You know, that it's just because you're so good at it, like you look at it differently than somebody who's,
and Joe does. Joe puts his own aesthetic,
and that's when I see his pictures. He puts his own view on it, which blows your mind.
Yes. All right, what's next? Next is I'm going to Qatar, where the World Cup is going on right now.
Which I am addicted to.
I'm going in February, it looks like. So later in February. So if you know somebody there, if you've got a fixer, a friend, a photographer over there, put them in touch with me, because I've never been, and this will probably be my one and only chance to go.
It looks awesome.
I don't want to just kind of wander around.
Yeah,
So,
it looks awesome from what I see.
Send them to hit me up on social. What else? Holiday gifts.
We got a bunch of we got a bunch of prizes, right? To give away.
Let's give away.
So
what do we got?
We've got we're going to be giving away the Platypod Ultra today. So one of the Platypod Ultras. We're going to be giving away your travel photography book. So
Woo.
great if you're traveling to places like Qatar. And then we're giving away that ebook version of this. Like
the ebook version of Light
ebook version of Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It. Then we're also going to be giving away a copy of On One Effects 2023. So you can get that over at on1.com.
I got that.
And then, yeah, definitely. And you can get we're going to be giving away one V flat from V Flat World, and one dual board XL from V Flat World. That's for US shipping only. These are great things if you need the dual boards, if you need something, a background that's easy to pop up. And then those V flats, they fold up really nice right into your trunk. And then everybody can get a 10% discount over at VFAT World by using that code Kelby10. And then also, we'll be talking about in just a little bit, Imogen. You can go over to their site, Imogen -AI, Imogen-AI, and then you can get right over there. You can also get that 25% off that they're running right now, but you can get 1,000 free AI edits, which I'm sure we'll go over here in a second.
Yeah, we're actually going to see it here. We're going to actually see it today, so that's kind of cool.
So there you go.
All right. So we
and the way you enter. The way you enter is just leave us a comment. Tell us what you'd like to win. And then if you have any questions about when we get into the AI stuff, you have any questions about even the software, I'm sure we're going to show, just ask in the chat. We'll get your question answered.
Yep, it is always question day. So you can ask the question anytime. So we went over the giveaways. So Mr. Kuna, who will be missing in action next week,
I will.
Brought some holiday gift ideas.
I do.
Now, next week, of course, we'll have our holiday gift show. We'll have a full show with all kinds of
I think you're going to have
ideas.
a special tech guest.
I will have a special techie nerd next week.
The one that I get tips from all the time.
I know,
all
me
this stuff too.
He is the king of he's the king of, like Mariah Carey is the queen of Christmas.
Yep.
At least she's trying to be.
Yeah.
She tried to trademark that.
He should be the king.
Yeah, he's the king of Christmas. Least.
There you go. All right. So a couple things. One is, we're not all Flash masters like you, right? And sometimes we just need a little continuous.
I own a Flash.
light,
I'm not,
right.
I never consider myself.
Well, you're
a Flash.
you're pretty good. You're pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but for us that don't like to use Flash, sometimes, well, not that I don't like to use Flash, I don't use it that much, but I love using these little portable lights. So this is a little Lume Cube mini panel. So let me connect up here, because Jason's like, we should have just done it in the beginning of the show, but I didn't. And there's my scan converter. And now he should have that. But anyways, the Lume Cube mini panel here, it's this little light. So just this little light, right? And it's got a diffuser on it. And this is great because this can go all the way from doing my little low-level light painting out in the field to lighting somebody up. Say you want to just do a portrait with them. You turn this on, you've got the ability to change the color temperature, all that stuff. So it's just really cool.
That's what I use for my Zoom calls. Like if I'm doing a Zoom call from my house.
So you could just
exactly what I use.
And that's another thing. If you're on Zoom calls and you're on meetings and you're not using a little light like this, go buy it.
Oh yeah.
Just putting this up in front of you. It's how many times I see people just in shadows and they're just like,
it looks so bad.
Just put up one of these lights. But not only can you use these lights for that, this is just dimmed down. I mean, you can go. That's at 10%. This one I like because it goes all the way down to 1%, but you can go all the way up to 100%. And I mean,
they get super bright.
And that's competing with our studio lights right now.
And that also has a diffuser on the front.
Yep, diffuser.
And I got it with a little suction cup that sticks on the back of my.
What's great with these too is they adjust the one here. It's $70, and it adjusts from like a very warm color temperature to a very cool color temperature. So this is great. Like, we talk to people and they're blasting their Flash, but it's never really balanced because they don't gel it. Well, this is a what you see is what you get kind of light. So if you just go out into the field, hold it up, and you're like, it's too cool, well, then you turn down the color temperature. Too warm, you turn up the color temperature. Beautiful. So it's a great thing. Now, a great thing to go along with that is this. This is the stand I use with it. It folds up to this nice little size, and then it's able to just pop out. A little pop-out stand. And then this can actually fold up.
Oh,
and then it even has
that.
a directional thing where I can actually have
look
it.
At you with your fancy tools.
You know, you put it on here, which is always nice when you're live doing this. You put it on here, and then you can tilt it whichever way you want.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, so it's really nice that you're able to tilt that, and then you put it up. So what's great about that is here's a great example. Here's a shot right here. If I would have shot this with, this is one exposure. I'm lighting that barn with that light, only that light. One light on a stand, and it's lighting that whole barn. If I wouldn't have lit that barn, it would be black. That barn you would not even see. It would not even be visible because it's so dark there.
Yeah.
So being able to do that in one exposure with that little kit, less than $100, it's great, right? So that's one gift. Great option for people. Another one is these little, and I preached these things for a while. You can see actually.
Yeah. I've got this.
These little Power Extra dual battery things. However, what I wanted to talk, I know I've been talking this a while. These ones, which I just bought this last year, are the NH batteries. Which, if you're a Canon shooter and you're shooting and you're wanting those high frames per second on your R6, R5, R7, you need that NH battery. I've been using these. They work just as good as the Canon batteries that each cost $80.
Yeah, you get two of them.
You get two of them for
And a
$50
charger.
plus that dual charger. And what's great about that dual charger is it comes with the USB like rolled up into it, so I never lose a way of charging it. I always have it like tucked in right there. So it's really great.
Plus, you can charge two batteries at one time.
Yeah, and when you're out in the field or you're traveling, I only take this because then if I come back to the hotel room, I've usually got two batteries to charge. I'll just throw them in there, and then I could rotate them instead of having to switch out that single battery all the time.
He always has those little good gears.
But
Value
now,
price. Hey, where do we get the stand?
Same thing, B&H. You can go over there, right there. B&H. It's got the adjustable light stand. That's what it is right there. And it's got the adjustable head on it, 180 degree tilts. Really nice. It's great because I can stick, when I go out like low level light painting, I'll stick 3 of those in my backpack with 3 lume cubes, and I've got a 3-point lighting setup. So,
all right, very nice.
Yeah. That's about it. I mean, the other one I would tell people, I'm telling you, if you haven't started playing around with it, is get a noise reduction software. And I love this On One No Noise AI. They actually have it right now for 50% off. You can go get 50% off right through basically December 2nd. So coming up really shortly. And I'm telling you, if you haven't used noise reduction software, this will open up so much for you. I'm not even worried about shooting at 3200, 6400 ISO anymore. I'm just not worried about it anymore. All right. So that's great. The other thing I will say, we still have our cyber specials going on.
Yes.
You can find that right now. This is a great gift. I will tell you, like if you just go to kelby1.com, get our cyber special. The best gift you can give somebody else who's getting into photography is this. And why? Because they will want to go out and shoot with you more and go out. They will. They just will be more happy. Like they will be a happier person because you can buy all the gear you want. But if you don't know how to use it and don't know how to make great images, you get frustrated and you don't want to go out and do it. The people that I know that invest into this are the ones that want to actually get out there and do stuff and shoot and go make stuff. So go there over at kelby1.com. Best deal of the year, $149. It ends today, so you have to get it today.
Yeah, and you remember this. You know, we talk about what we spend on equipment and stuff.
Yes.
But there's no sense in just pouring a bunch of money into stuff if you don't know how to use it.
Yep.
And so we go into all that stuff. We have classes on how to use your camera and how to use the accessories and how to use all that stuff. So we'd love to have you join, and today's the last day. All right, can I show something real quick, and then we're going to take a break?
I'm seeing what you're seeing. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you. But that's not really about the picture.
But I love the picture.
Here's what I want to show you. 2 things. Ready? This is kind of cool. If you go to filter and you go to On One, and you choose my favorite, On One Effects 2023, there's going to be a splash screen that comes up, right? What's that? Let's see. Oh, that's my picture. Woo! That's my first splash screen. So that's my picture of Norway.
You got no noise on yours?
As a matter of fact, I do. That's why I said I have two things to show you. All right. So then we're going to close this. I'm going to just close it. What happens if you go instead and choose, hit cancel.
I like that picture, though.
Thank you. What happens if you go to filter On One and you choose no noise? Erik Kuna picture.
That's my picture.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So Erik and I are both in those. I was so excited. They sent me a note and said, "Hey, we want to use one of your pictures." I'm like, "Let's go!" I was very, very excited.
Very cool.
Hey, look at the noise. Can you see that on screen?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, just wipes it out.
You know what I didn't realize? How much noise I had in that picture.
It is amazing.
It's a tad noisy there.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of wild.
All you do is hit done, and it applies it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
It's the kind of just, it's crazy. It brings life to images that you used to just throw away.
It's crazy. All right, we are going to take a short break. We got a special guest joining us after the break. We got a couple of real quick shout outs when we get back, and then we'll bring our guest on. Stick around. We're live right here on the grid. Don't go away.
Hey, Erik Kuna here, and I'm here with the new Canon R7. We're taking this through its paces. We're out here at an air show. We're gonna put it through a real-world example, show you how this camera performs actually out shooting an event, right? This is what this camera is designed for. Peak action, we want telephoto, we want to be in on the action. We're gonna put this through its paces, figure out what it can do, what it can't do, any highlights it has. These are the type of images that you can produce with this camera. We're gonna see if there's any things that we need to address with it, and then we're gonna actually take it back into the studio, and we're gonna go through all the buttons, all the dials, the menu system, explain what everything is, so you're up to speed on how to make the most out of the Canon R7. So join me on this class on the new Canon R7 at kelby1.com.
Now, when you look at images, what is the first thing that draws your attention? The model, of course, right? But that shouldn't actually be the case. It should be the story, it should be the whole image. So in this class we're going to talk about using colors, but in many different ways. So not just simple gels, but we can also use, for example, split lighting. We're going to talk about something called smoke. We're going to talk about lens flares. And we're going to talk about a lot more stuff that can help you guys out to bring more magic in your shots. We're going to talk about a technique, and I'm going to show you that. And when you combine all of those together, you probably get something that's way over the top. Learn to shoot with magic, and then just sparkle it around in your normal work. And you will find out that it will give you the edge over the competition without any doubt. I hope I don't get into trouble with the Magic Commission by giving you all these trade secrets.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Erik. Erik, do we have some shout-outs here real quick?
I'm
Let's
not
see.
sure. I just see our prizes. Yeah, no, we do. We
there we go.
Rick is saying hi from a cold and wet Columbus, Ohio. Paul's saying hi from Liverpool. The new book looks fantastic. It really does. It came out really well. And then Dan saying hi from the San Francisco area. Teresa saying hi from Summerfield, Florida. Jackie saying hi from Miami. Cindy saying hi to everybody. Shane all the way over there from the Isle of Wight saying hi. And then Deb saying hi from California. Mike C. from Michigan saying hi. Ray from South Dakota. Well, let's see. Addie from Israel saying hi. And then Einik and Fred from, oh boy,
Shire Munakug.
Shire Munikug.
I have no idea where that is.
Shire Munikug. I think that's it.
But we're still glad
well, we
you're
probably
here.
butchered that anyway.
Maybe you'll let us know where it's at and how to pronounce it as well. Hey, standing by, also coming in, Skyping in all the way from Israel. Welcome to Yodum Gill. So, hey, Yodum, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Erik, for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So our topic today is how will AI change the world of photography? And one of the reasons why we wanted to cover this, that's the word.
Yes,
why we wanted to cover this today is because you guys have heard us talking about Imogen, and Yotam is with Imogen, and they are doing some of the most amazing AI stuff around. What they're doing for photographers, but I'm just going to ask you, Yotam, because a lot of photographers are scared. They're worried that somehow AI is going to steal their jobs or make their jobs less fun or take away something they've learned. But I think a lot of people have lost the fact of when AI is used right, which I think mostly it has been, it's to do things that we don't want to waste our time doing, right? We want to be creative. Mm-hmm. We want to spend our time doing fun stuff. Nobody wants to do production stuff. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody, like I know what
especially
Adobe has done with Lightroom,
repetitive production stuff.
Repetitive stuff
that
anybody can do, right?
Over and over.
Right.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right. And AI is going to replace everything which is tedious and boring and not creative that we do. AI is very good learning to do stuff that we already did thousands of times, because AI needs a lot of examples to learn from. So if you can give it examples of things that you do over and over again, like, for example, editing photos or doing things like that, so then the AI can actually learn how to do that. If you are doing a creative process, which you're actually inventing something new every time, then AI could never replace that. And I know that many people are scared, with all the science fiction movies and everything, but we are so far from anything like that. AI is basically, and the big advantage of AI is being able to be automatic while being personal. So we can actually take examples that you personally edited or any task that you did repetitively, and we can actually learn what you did. And the AI can actually understand what you did, and that's really valuable. But then again, it doesn't work for anything which is creative. So if you do something which is not repetitive, which is actually you put in your, your creativity into, you're putting your thoughts into, so AI could never replace that.
See, this is what
don't worry. Yeah.
This is what I think is so interesting. Because, like, what Adobe has done with that, and so Adobe bought this technology, they call it Adobe Sensei. Adobe has done the work, and it doesn't really respond to you, right? It doesn't respond to how you work or anything. It just says, oh, you want to remove this object from the background? We recognize that's a person, we'll select them. Oh, we recognize that's a banana, we recognize that's a pizza. All mine are food.
Yeah.
They're all food related.
It's
I
always your
recognize that's
example.
a hamburger. That's a French fry. So anyway, but it recognizes them.
Yep.
But it doesn't respond to you, and that's what I think is so interesting about what you guys are doing. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on, was because you're doing a different level of AI than we're used to in almost any other program that's out there, because you have one that actually learns. It
like
learns
what
from
we're
how
doing. What we're
you
doing,
do it.
yeah.
Tell us more about that. I'm interested in this technology.
So first thing I want to just say that what Adobe did and what we do the same, we think the same, is we want to keep you focused on being creative. So we don't want to do anything that takes the creativity out of the process. We just want to let you focus on the creative part. And, taking away the heavy lifting of the non-creative parts leaves you more time to do the creative part. So on that, we are on the same page with Adobe and with everything they do on the AI part. What we did a little bit differently and is actually trying to match personally the editing style to each of our users, to each of our photographers. So, and that's not an easy task. It took us some time to get there, to build a workflow that can actually take the photos that you edited, understand and capture the editing style out of it, and being able to edit the same way. And that it saves a lot of time. We know that editing takes about editing and I mean culling and editing, or the entire post-processing takes about 2 hours for each 1 hour of shooting, and we save about 80 or 90% of that. So once you get back the photos edited with your personal style, you only have to go over it, do some final edits, final tweaks, fine-tuning, and they're ready to being delivered. You send it back to us, and this profile of yours keeps getting better and better with time. So the more photos you feed it with, the more photos you show it with, the more examples, it actually can handle more different scenarios. So it gets smarter and it gets better, and it gets more accurate to reflect your style.
That's wild. And so it works out of Lightroom Classic.
Exactly.
All right.
So right now we support
maybe
Lightroom
that's
Classic.
something that when we get into it is like actually showing it. I think that might be something we actually show how it works.
Yeah, on the next break, I want to take a look at that
take
after
on
the next break.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, and I'm setting you up for this. I don't know if you've ever seen the show before, but so it works out.
I did watch a couple of episodes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it works out of Lightroom Classic. It does not work out of the Lightroom Cloud version.
Right.
Is that because the Lightroom Cloud version is for children? What?
Wait, did you say that out loud?
No,
What?
that's a joke. That's just a friend of mine calls
It's a
it
joke,
the
a
children's
joke.
version of Lightroom. So I said
We might have Imagen version for children also, so we might support Imagen Lightroom system.
Oh, well, then great. All right.
Yeah.
So after the next break, we would love to just kind of show it, but that's cool that it's based in Lightroom, because like our crowd, the people that watch the grid, is a very heavy Lightroom Classic crowd, right? They're serious photographers. There's pros out there as well that watch the grid. So that we're very Lightroom Classic based, and there's still
what it is.
So many things that are missing. Somebody pointed out something yesterday that you can't do. Well, you can't do plugins in Lightroom.
There's
Classic.
just a lot. There's a lot.
I know, but somebody pointed out one yesterday, and I'm like, you can't do
do
that.
that?
In
You're
Lightroom.
like,
I was
really?
stunned. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can't.
And then you're
do,
thinking
so.
it's like been like how many years now, and they can't do that.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. Well, you know what it is? It's for a different audience.
Yeah, I know.
So there's
but
things
still.
like someone sent me a note the other day and said, "When do you think tethering will be in Lightroom for the cloud?" I go, "I don't
not
think
anytime
ever,
soon."
because it's a different crowd. Now, the crowd that you're looking at, Yodum, you're talking about people that do high volume photography, right?
Yeah.
They're shooting weddings, they're doing portrait sessions, they're doing commercial photography, they're shooting products. They're doing something where there's a heavy volume. Erik that shoots a lot of air shows where he shoots thousands of shots of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's thousands of shots of a jet flying by, and I do the same thing. So, but there are certain.
But the difference is we're just going down to like 12 selects, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing that takes all the time.
Yeah,
it
to
does
select
take
the photos,
to select them and to do their basic edits. You know, it does. It takes.
That would be genius if I could figure out a way to teach an AI to like have my brain on what to select and what not to select.
Oh, like
maybe they're working on that.
So
maybe they're working.
We actually have. I we just released today the beta version for culling. So that's actually trying to select the best photos out of your set of photos. So with AI, just choosing what we think you would choose out of your entire set of thousands of photos. We try to find out what's the right photo, the ones you would choose out of your set.
Because that does take a lot of time for me. It does take a lot of time.
Yep. That's kind of crazy. That's wild. But that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
the dream.
It's kind of like having an intern or
I just need an assistant that has
and
my
you
brain.
Go, hey, look, go find the good ones and put them in a collection for me. Just go, look, here's 3,000 photos from an air shoot. I want the 100 keepers, and then I'll get it down to the last, 12.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like an intern that never gets tired. That's always very consistent. That's very fast. So, like the best intern you can hope for.
Yeah, we've never had one of those. We've had many. You know what our biggest problem with interns are? Getting them to actually show up. Like, we would have interns sent from a local university, and they'd be there the first week, and then they'd miss a day the next week, and then miss a couple of days,
Yeah, but every so often you hit a good one, and then you end up hiring them, and
we had a couple of really good ones.
But that's what we need. We just need an AI that we want to hire.
We need consistent is what we need.
But that's awesome to hear that you guys are working on that, because that is a pain point.
Yeah.
But I think the other pain point, like you're talking about, is that you're taking and teaching that AI so you don't have to do that repetitive nature of your own style of editing. It kind of gets you like 95% of the way there. I even love the fact, the one I think that a lot of people could use that I know the AI does is that it crops, and you can actually have it crop and straighten your photos. And the straightening part is the thing that I think a lot of us need. Is not noticing that stuff is crooked.
So, I don't know if you know this in Lightroom, it has an auto straightening.
Yeah, but it never works.
You know why? Because I don't think it is AI based. I don't think it is AI based. I think it is
not.
Yeah, it's not very good. You'll have one that's off by a little, and it will turn the whole
turn
thing.
It way off.
It'll be completely
so
diagonal.
Then you just lose all confidence in it.
That is not right. But I think what we're talking about is exactly the things that are how AI is changing the world of photography.
Yes, that's
so now
what it
you're
is.
Talking about culling, and for those of you, that's the term we use for basically going from 3,000 images down to 100 images down to 12. Getting it down. So AI is changing. Well, you guys are changing how we cull images. It's changing a lot of things because, so much of what we've taught over the year is in Photoshop and in Lightroom are selections. That was our bread and butter for so long. I'll tell you who it's impacting: people who teach Yotam. That's who's getting screwed by AI. No, we teach.
No, it's just teaching a different thing.
Yeah,
it's like you were talking about. I think actually this is what's great about this topic. We don't need to fear AI, and this is why it's my opinion we don't need to fear AI, because it will allow us to do what is important. And what is important in photography is creativity. It's framing. It's the moment. It's going to the right locations. It's telling the story. That's the stuff we were talking about at the beginning that AI is so far from being able to do. That would be like that scary movies where it's super intelligent AI. We're 100 years plus away from even getting near there.
Are we?
We're probably 100 years away from getting
We're
near
not going to see that.
But there's this AI that we have nowadays that is going to do that repetitive nature, those things that we don't like to do, that maybe some of us do like to do because that's the thing that we are good at. But the reality is the commodity in the future for photographers is going to be creativity. It is not going to be the process of how to do it and remembering what button to push and what layer to do the selection. And, it's like the selection is just going to happen for you.
Yeah, because for a long time, Erik, especially back before digital, if you had a film camera and you could actually make a proper exposure, you could work like that.
Yeah, that was the job.
Right.
Yeah.
Now every camera does proper exposure.
Shoot, that
Exposure is
iPhone
no
is
longer.
the phones are so
issue.
good anymore. The iPhones.
Oh
and
yeah, the
stuff,
phones
they're so
are
good.
so great. All right, so
So
we're going to take a short break.
okay.
We lost your screen, so while we're on break, we have to reconnect your screen. But when we come back, we've been talking a lot about it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see
So
it.
if you can kind of give us just a quick demo and kind of let us see how it works. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Everybody stick around. Yotam, you get your screen working, and we'll see you right after the break.
What if you could hire an extra set of hands just to deal with editing your photos? And what if this assistant was thinking and editing exactly like you? With Imogen, this is not a distant dream. Introducing your new personalized AI Lightroom Classic editing assistant. It analyzes your unique editing style down to the very last detail and applies that style instantly and uniquely to every new photo from your Adobe Lightroom catalogs. Whether it's color correction, cropping, or straightening, Imogen's AI assistant knows what needs to be done based on your previous edits. The AI constantly learns your unique point of view and improves. With just a few clicks, Imogen edits your photos in your personal style faster than ever. It takes less than half a second per photo at all volumes. Now you can finally have the time to scale up your business and win back free time. In addition to creating your own personal AI profile, you can also use one of our pre-built talent AI profiles if you are uncertain about your unique style or just want to explore the signatory styles of leading photographers. Your new AI assistant is here to deliver. Achieve amazing results right from the first frame and maintain the highest level of precision in each and every photo. Starting at only a few cents per photo, you get fantastic value for your money and save hours of work. So say goodbye to hours of tedious manual editing and to presets that distort your photos and underdeliver. And say hello to the future.
I'm Karen Hutton. Join me as we go chasing fall color in the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains of California to make amazing images of this incredible time of year. I'm going to share with you everything I can come up with out of my years of experience photographing this incredibleness in this beautiful part of the world to hopefully save you some time and energy when you want to shoot the glorious colors of autumn wherever you are in the world. I'll share tricks like understanding how fall color starts at the highest elevation and works its way down and what that timing is all about. We'll talk about planning, we'll talk about preparing, we'll talk about gear, we'll talk about lenses, the actual nitty-gritty about how to shoot some of it, as well as how to tell a story, how to walk away with a book of your experiences, how to use color play. We'll talk about the detailed shots, the mid shots, the big epic shots. We're going to share a lot with you, and I'm not holding anything back. So join me for my latest class and best adventure ever at kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we are back. Scott and Erik are here, and we have Yotam Skyping in, and he's going to show us. We're going to get an actual demo. So, yay! We've been talking about it, and now we're finally going to get to see it. So, yeah, can you give us a quick little tour?
Definitely. So, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. So this is the home screen. It's basically a desktop app. You just need to download it, install it, and it will communicate with your Lightroom Classic, as we mentioned. So no Lightroom CC, Lightroom Classic. And basically what you can do here is first you can either use one of the Talent AI profiles. So Talent AI profiles are predefined profiles that can just edit for you. We partnered up with leading photographers. Maybe you know the names: Michael Anthony, Michel Delutri. You know Michael? Mm-hmm. So we can actually see my photos edited with Michael's style in a second.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you have about 16 talents today. Talents are, again, like leading photographers build their own profiles, allowing anyone to use them. So you can just, without teaching the AI at all, just use any of these profiles. But we highly recommend building your own profile. Building your own profile is very easy. You have some guidelines here, and basically the two most important guidelines on how to build your profile is to include photos edited in a consistent style. So make sure that you have the same style across the entire set of photos, and include photos taken in a variety of environments and lighting conditions. So as we mentioned, the more examples and the more photos the AI sees, they can actually handle different scenarios. So that's it. I will have to choose a name for my catalog. So for my profile, sorry. So I'll call it Yotam. I can create a color or black and white profile, a RAW or a JPEG profile. I would assume like 99% of the people will choose will choose color profile, and most of the people are shooting RAW. This has to be the type of photos that you shoot. And then I click Start Building, and all I have to do is just select my Lightroom catalogs. I can see the recent catalogs here. I will just choose one catalog I want to use. I will see all the folders within that catalog. You can either work with like multiple catalogs or just one catalog for all your photos. It doesn't matter. And I would just choose the photo that I want to use to train the profile. Again, give it some name like my 2022 photos or anything like that. I can also filter my photos by rating, by label, by flag, anything I do to just choose the right photos. I click Add, and basically I just need to stack up here at least 3,000 photos to being able to create my first profile, and I click Upload.
Yeah, that's one shoot for
Eric.
Eric.
That's all you have to do.
That's one shoot. Yeah. Eric can do that in one shoot.
So you don't need that many photos. I mean, I would say like a normal, like an average wedding is about 1,000 photos after you edit them. And so all you need to have is about maybe 3 weddings. Mm-hmm. Then it takes about 1 day to create the profile. So once all the photos have been uploaded, we start moving the AI, starting moving the machine learning, starting teaching everything, creating this profile, understanding your style. And once the profile is ready, again, it takes about 1 day to actually capture your style from the photos. You get an email, you get some notifications in the application saying that your profile is ready. And then you go to projects, and you just create a new project. Creating a new project is, here you can see that also the calling option, but let's go to the editing part. So I just click Edit, again, choose a catalog. Choose one of my catalogs, select which photos I want to edit. As Erik mentioned, I can also crop and straighten my photos. So that's an advanced option that I can choose whether I want to use. And then I choose an AI profile, one of the talents profile, one of my personal profiles, and that's it. All I do is now is, again, I give it a name. So demo 123, click Add, and just start uploading it. We compress the photos, we upload them after compression, so everything is really quick. And once it's ready, it takes about 1 second per photo. So again, 45 photos here would take about 45 seconds. You get back the editing parameters right into Lightroom. So it is applied to your original photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. The light bulb just came on for Eric and I.
Yeah. So you get everything applied to your raw photos, which like the original photos applied with the new parameters. I already ran a catalog before we started, so I want to show it here. Demo catalog. I ran it with Michael Anthony's style, which is called California Dreaming. And let me show you how it's done. So I just click Download Edit. I click, again, Download Edit. It will overwrite any previous edits to these photos. So I need to be aware of that. Click Continue. I only download the metadata here, not the photos themselves. So it's a very quick process.
Oh, yeah, very small.
And I just open Lightroom Catalog. And now I would see all my photos already edited with the style I chose. So let's see how it looks. So this is one example. You can see it. Everything is edited. Let me show you the. So this is the original. You can see it's a little bit straightened, cropped, and applied. I mean, the style is applied here. If I move between the photos, you can see each photo gets different parameters. So each photo is actually edited according to the photo's characteristics, but the style is consistent across all the photos. And it looks like Michael Anthony has actually edited the photos.
Yeah, it looks very consistent between them. Even though the photos are different, the editing style is very consistent.
Yeah, so that's the point here. And this is actually a session from the Israeli desert. So I'm not sure if Michael Anthony ever shot in the Israeli desert. So I don't know if the AI actually has photos very similar to these, but so this is the way the AI predicted that Michael Anthony would edit this specific photo. And again, if I move between the photos, you can see that each photo, you can see the parameters on the right side. Each photo gets different parameters, but the photos are edited consistently and with the same style. And they're also like, again, let's see the crop and straightening here. So, I mean, this photo didn't need a lot of straightening and not a lot of crop, but other photos are different. They get, more straightening, more crop.
That's cool. Look at that.
And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. And once you get the edits, basically what you need to do is go over the photos, do the final adjustments, do the final tweaks, review them, see if you need any changes. Once it's done, and again, it should save you about 80 to 90% of your editing time. Once you're done, all you have to do is to deliver to your customers, and also go back to the software and send the final edits. So if I go back to the software here, once the project is downloaded, I will have a different button here saying send final edits, and this will make my profile better and better with time.
That's what's great about it.
Anytime I send the final edits, my profile gets smarter, gets better, gets more accurate, and next time it will be even more. It will save you even more time.
Okay.
So that's editing, and just one more point. So as I mentioned, we started beta of calling today. So calling is actually being able to send your photos and get back the ratings into Lightroom by a couple of different categories. So we split it today to keepers, photos that we think are the best out of your set. Then no alternative, photos that you only have one of each kind. Low-rated photos, which are like, bad exposure, blurred, out of focus, anything like that. And then maybes. So out of the group, we wouldn't choose these photos, but it could be an option. So it really splits the photos into 4 categories, and it should save you a lot of time going over the photos, choosing the right ones.
Oh, this is so fascinating. So we got some questions coming in. And also, I'm going to call you from now on Yotam. Am I saying it right now?
Yeah. How did you call me before?
Yodum.
Yodum. It's the same.
Well,
I answered to
when you wrote it in the dialogue box, I heard you say it yourself. I'm like, oh, I'm saying it's wrong. So Yotam. There we go. All right. So we have some questions. John wants to know. So what if part of my workflow is using other plugins like On1 No Noise? Will it remember things that you do in On1 No Noise?
So is he working on RAW photos?
So he probably would. His workflow would be working on a raw photo, but then he'd probably be sending it to a plugin to do like something to it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I think at this stage, like for example, noise. If you're running noise reduction, but you would run that before it did the AI edit. You would do the noise reduction before the AI edit. But the question, I guess, being, if you use plugins, would the AI know that you're using a plugin?
Yeah, this is.
So I'm not sure about how. Yeah, I'm not sure about how On1 works, but we learn from Lightroom parameters. So if ON1 is actually changing some noise reduction parameters in Lightroom, we will learn that. If ON1 is doing anything else, then we cannot learn that.
Yeah, it does. It does a separate. It does a
so
separate.
I think that's what it is. This is like a totally different thing.
Yeah. Because what ON1 is doing its own magic that is not using Lightroom sliders at all.
But then what it's doing is it's saving out a new version in a DNG of that noise reduced file. So that new version is what the AI would get. You know, if you were going to use this workflow, you would actually run the noise reduction, then give that noise reduced file to the AI.
Yeah, but the AI, when it comes back, will not be able to have the sliders that were in that thing.
It would. I mean, it'd be a DNG file.
It would be a DNG file.
We can work with the DNG file if you used the noise reducted files to teach the AI, then it can actually understand how to edit the noise reducted file.
That's
when you send it to editing. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's a specific workflow. I mean, if you're using like heavy noise reduction, I mean, like that's because Lightroom's good for like, you know, just basic noise reduction. I mean, usually again, you're going over these noise reduction tools because you're taking out like 6400 ISO.
Yeah, I don't use the noise reduction in Lightroom. It's terrible. It's not good. It's
terrible.
It's bad.
Terrible.
All right, Jamie Feldman asks, Yotam, he's asking, can multiple profiles be created? So you showed how to create a profile. What if there's like, what if you have a profile you do for weddings and one you do for wildlife, and can you do different profiles?
Yeah, definitely. You can create multiple profiles. If you have different editing style, the right way would be to create multiple profiles. But if you edit you don't have to create different profile for like indoor weddings and outdoor weddings. The AI could get that and understand how to edit indoor and outdoor. If you feel like your editing is consistent between these two indoor and outdoor settings. But if you feel like you have a different editing style, for example, as you mentioned, weddings, wildlife, portraits, then definitely create a different style. You would need 3,000 examples for each style.
Of each. Right. So Kathy's kind of asking the same question. Kathy. So Kathy says, did anybody ask about different shooting styles like nature, wildlife, macro, sports, aviation? So yes, you can create multiple profiles, but you would have to upload 3,000 images for it to build a profile of how you edit the images. Or you could apply other people's profiles, some of the pros that you have, you could apply their profiles to your images.
And that's only if you shoot aviation different than wildlife, or you edit aviation different than wildlife.
Right.
If you different than portraits. If you have a consistent style throughout all those, you would just use one profile.
So you don't have to. I guess it would be good for people to realize you do not have to create a profile.
Yeah.
You can use the profiles that you collected from these pros, and you can say, I want this particular style, and it'll apply theirs.
Yep.
But you have the option, right? You have the option of creating your own personal style that mimics how you edit.
Yep.
Exactly. You will get the most value if you create your own personal style, because then it will actually be very close to how you edit, and you'll have to make almost no changes. But if you don't have the initial, 3,000 photos to begin with, then you can just start with any of the predefined ready profiles and start from there. So,
well, it's funny because of digital, having 3,000 photos is not a problem. Back in the film days, you'd go, well, give me 6 months, give me a year, Now it's give me breakfast, and I can have 3,000 photos. So another question, this one's from Jay Plevritis. Let's just say it's from Jay. It says, can it also remove scratches and restore color from old photo scans? So if that's more of a Photoshop thing than it is a Lightroom
because I don't think you could do that in Lightroom to begin with.
Yeah, Lightroom doesn't really do either one of those. So this is based on what Lightroom can do, right?
Yeah, but I do have a good answer for that.
Okay.
We can't remove scratches, and we can't do that, but we are going to introduce a new feature for local adjustments. So actually, selecting the subject from the photo, selecting different subjects in the photo, and being able to apply a different type of editing, or a little bit like maybe dodge and burn type of editing. So that's not scratching and fixing color for old photos, but it is like more local to a specific place in the photo.
Interesting.
That's interesting because, we do that so much anymore. We're localized adjustments on like subjects, for example.
All right. Here's a question from John. Can you take an existing profile, so one of the pro profiles, right, that they've done, can you take one of those profiles, can you edit it, and then save it as your own profile? Yes, you could do that, right?
You could, but you have to create a new profile. So you have to edit at least 3,000 photos with that profile.
Fit
the photos with your style.
3,000 examples of that profile.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your own examples, your own photos edited in that style.
Okay, so then...
So you could do it that way. You could edit 3,000 photos in somebody else's profile, get those photos back, then feed the AI back and say, hey, this is my style where I edited those profiles to how I liked them, and now I have 3,000 examples of what I like.
Yeah. So let's do a hypothetical situation.
Hypothetically.
Exactly. But
you go and apply a pro's profile.
Yep.
All right. You apply Michael's profile. So and then you go, I like his profile, but I like mine warmer.
Yep.
So you go into and you edit 3,000 photos. Select 3,000, make them all warmer, upload those 3,000, and then boom, you'd have your own profile.
Version of it, your remix.
You have a warmer profile.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we have to take a short break. But do you remember when we talked, Yodam? Before we talked to the show, I said this is going to go by really fast.
Mm-hmm.
We're already over by 2 minutes. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. If you've got any last-minute questions for Yotam while he's here, ask him now because we're about to wrap up the show. So stick around. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I come home from a trip or an event, I share the images online, right? I share them in a particular way that every time I do it, I get emails, I get comments, and I get stuff on social media, people saying, what software are you using to share this story? It looks phenomenal. It's the storytelling medium that is so great. It makes your photos look fantastic and lets you wrap your story around it. It's called Adobe Express, and I made a class on it. It's an entire course. It's short because it's so easy. Adobe Express itself is free. If you're going to sign up for Adobe Express, go ahead and put some images together, come with me and follow along in the class. When the class is over, your Adobe Express page is up and running, and you're going to do it in no time at all and be blowing people away with the presentation. And you know what? It's all about the presentation. So come and check out my brand new course on photo storytelling with Adobe Express.
Hey guys, I'm Tavi and I'm going to show you two really cool products that we at VFlat World sell. So the first one is our Duo boards, which are double-sided hyper-realistic backdrops for food and product photographers. They come in two sizes. This is the larger side, We have all different types of textures and designs. These are some of the new ones that came out recently. And they also, there's a bag option available for them. And our other product, which is what we actually started the company with, it's called a V-flat. It's a foldable V-flat, and it's used for portrait and studio photographers to control light on their subjects, to either add light with the white side or use the black side to subtract light, or even block like an unwanted window light coming in.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Okay, we are back. We got some prizes, and then we have another question here for Yotam. So let's go through the prizes real quick. We got some winners.
So
of cool stuff.
We've got Lee Chambers is winning the Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It. That's the ebook version of this book. We're giving that away. And then Jonah Everett is winning the How Do I Do That in Lightroom book, which I don't have up here, but you're going to win that. And then Barb P. Pachos is winning the travel photography book. And then Tony Mitchell, you're winning the Platypod Ultra. Then Paul M. McKenzie is winning the On1 2023, the On1 Effects. And then Gary L. is winning the V-flat. And then Janice Persfield Stevenson is winning the dual board. So just email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com. We'll verify your information, send you out your prize.
There we go. All right, we had a question for Yotam here. Let me get it back here. So Yanni is asking, is there or will there be a mobile version?
That's a good question. We actually think about... I don't know if the question is about Lightroom or actually shooting in like your phone and being able to fix the photo in the phone. So right now we don't have it, but we definitely think about having that. And if I look forward, if I imagine the future, then I think that at some point you might even have it inside the camera. So you just shoot, whenever you want to shoot. And you get everything straight away to your computer or your mobile phone, called and edited, and all you have to do is to do the creative part, choosing the ones that you like, doing creative stuff with your things. Now you have more time to put on specific photos and change them.
That's the dream.
You also have more time to shoot.
That's the dream.
Exactly.
Right? You asked most photographers.
It will come. It will come. I do think.
Would you rather spend more time behind the camera or more time behind the computer? They'll always say camera.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, Yotam, thank you so much for running us over by 8 minutes and 7 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. I told you it's going to go fast.
My pleasure.
I said it's going to go really fast. But thank you so much. It was fascinating.
Thank you for having me.
I learned so much today. This was very, very interesting. So thank you very much for sharing it. And we appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks very much for doing that.
Guys.
And for everybody else, we are way over, so we're going to run. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to our sponsors. And we will see you guys next week for our holiday gear guide. So that's next week. Don't take your last look at Mr. Kuna because you won't get to see him for 2 weeks.
Yep, I'll be freezing.
He'll be freezing. He's going someplace cold because that's what Kunas do. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time here on The Grid. Take care.